The winter meetings is always a big time in the baseball off season. A lot of stuff happens during the winter meetings, and the winter meeting sets up a lot of the things that will happen after it. So what we're going to do right here today, me and Luke, we're going to discuss 6 predictions for the winter meetings, what will happen during the winter meetings. Myself, I have 3. Luke has 3. So let's get straight into this. My name is Derek. I'm here with Luke. You're watching Bleacher, Brawls, and let's get straight into it. First things first, let's just get straight into this. I'll hand it off to Luke. What is your first prediction for the winter meetings?
My first prediction is that Aaron Judge signs during the winter meetings. Most of the big guns are waiting on Judge's deal to set the market for them. I think he's getting, and his agent Paige Odell is probably getting a lot of pressure. He might have other clients that are free agents that are looking to sign, and when you're the big contract that's going to set the market, I think probably the union is giving a lot of pressure too. People want to get paid. People want to know what their plans are for next spring. Do they have to move? Do they have to uproot their families? And just, I think Judge wants to know, and all the teams that are bidding for him want to know. They have to. He's a centerpiece of a team. So these teams that are bidding on Judge, that are in on him, they need to know now before everybody else falls if they have Aaron Judge on their team, because that changes your whole strategy for the rest of free agency. And then Judge, once Judge signs, the rest of the dominoes start to fall. I don't think they'll start to fall. I don't think most of them will fall during the winter meetings, but Judge will be the first big signing, and then the dominoes will begin to fall starting at the winter meetings and keep going on from there.
Yeah, Judge will either hold up the market or he'll get the market going, essentially, because teams need to know if they're out on Judge or not to be able to go fill their holes. I think that's pretty much fair. For me, my first prediction is that an unexpected team will make a big move. Now, this is a little vague, but what I mean is a team that you wouldn't expect, maybe a team like the Diamondbacks or even a team like the Angels, if they make a big signing that we aren't really looking at, because the Angels aren't being talked in those circles of the big free agent signings. Teams like that, or the Orioles go out and get a really good pitcher. I know they've been linked to Carlos Rodon a little bit. You're going to see a team that's a little bit unexpected make a big move. It's not going to be one of these big market teams. You're going to see a smaller team. Maybe I shouldn't say small, but just a more unexpected team making one of those bigger moves. Could also be a trade as well. I think that's fair. Luke, straight back to you. What is your second prediction?
My number 2 is the Red Sox get their shortstop. I know it's probably kind of earlier than people would expect this, but I'm predicting that it happens this coming week. Like I said, once Judge signs, the big 4 shortstops, all the big guns will start dropping from there. I think Boston will be one of the teams that gets one of those big 4 shortstops. It'll probably be Xander Bogaerts, but I'd prefer Trey Turner. Look, there's going to be a lot of action for these 4 shortstops. They're probably numbers, like 4 through 7 as far as most impactful free agents in all of baseball right now. Teams are going to be looking to pounce on them quickly once Judge signs. The Red Sox, the Phillies, the Cubs, the Dodgers, and a whole bunch of other teams are going to be looking for shortstops that are big needle movers for their team after they know what the market is after Judge signs. So that's what I'm going. Red Sox get their shortstop this week.
Yeah, well, at least we know the Texas Rangers won't be in for any of those shortstops, so they shouldn't be. So that's something. They took 2 of them last year. You never know.
They just like paying people, exorbitant sums of money.
Yeah. My second prediction is that the Mets are going to hurry up and replace Jacob deGrom. I think they will do it by going out and getting Justin Verlander on a 2-year deal, high AAV, that will match him up with Max Scherzer. And Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, former teammates in Detroit. And the Mets are really going to try and hit this kind of 2-year window that they have of still going for it before some of their contracts start coming off the books. And that Lindor contract is a little bit deeper into it, where maybe he starts to slow down a little bit. So I think the Mets are going to be aggressive and go out and get that guy and solidify the rotation because it's not only DeGrom that they've lost, they could also lose Chris Bassett as well. So they got to go get a top line starter. I think it will be Verlander, but in general, they will go get that top line starter to fill their rotation.
That is Russian roulette for the Mets. If they go from DeGrom to Verlander, I mean, there's a part of Mets fans that are probably thinking like sucks to lose Jacob DeGrom, but at least we don't have to worry about this every time our heads hit the pillow every night. Are we going to wake up in the morning and find out that Jacob DeGrom has a season-ending injury? But then you replace him with Justin Verlander, who's about 63, and I mean he's pitching great, but it's just his body. You can only last so long when you're throwing baseballs 100 miles an hour. So
yeah,
for Mets fans, I kind of hope that because you still got two old guys at the top of your rotation that you're crossing your fingers hoping nobody's going to get hurt. Verlander and Scherzer is scary. I remember they scared me in 2013 in the ALCS when the Red Sox faced them. But now it's 2022. It is 9 years later. Well, it's going to be 10 years later.
It's going to be 10 years, 2023. Yeah, no, and also Scherzer did have some problems, slowed down a little bit near the end of last year as well. That's a big question mark, though. Let's move on, though. Luke, you got your final prediction set. Where are you going?
Speaking of the Rangers, getting Jacob DeGrom, I say they get an outfielder this week. They don't seem to. I know you just told me that the Rangers have a top farm system in the major leagues. I feel like a lot of that isn't close to being major league ready though, because I just look at their lineup. Their roster right now, and it's so top heavy. The lineup is, they got Garcia in the outfield, but the other two outfielders are just kind of, and at third base they don't really. I forget who it is. Nathaniel Lowe is great at first base, and they got Simeon and they got Seager up the middle, but I just feel like the lineup is so top heavy, kind of like the Yankees lineup is. I feel like they are in spend mode, and for some reason they're in win now mode, even though they're banking on a bunch of big money free agent signings that all came with red flags. So I just think they're just up for spending right now, and they're kidding themselves into being in a win now mode. So I think they're going to get, they're going to continue building from free agency expensively. Mitch Haniger or Adam Duvall are at least cheap-ish free agents. Like they're going to try and finally exercise some kind of financial, scrutiny for their team, if that's the right word. That gives them one more bat to fill out their lineup, to go along with Seager and Simeon and Adolis Garcia and Nathaniel Lowe. Now they add an outfielder to that mix, since I think Garcia is mostly a DH now. They still need bullpen hope. But getting them an outfielder in free agency puts them a step closer to competing with the Astros and the Mariners.
Yeah, no, the Rangers, they do have 6 top 100 prospects on MLB Pipeline. One of those, number 56 prospect in baseball, Evan Carter, is an outfielder, but he's going to start next year in Double-A, although he did play very well last year, so you never know, but a little bit ways away. And that doesn't even, those 6 guys don't even count Kumar Rocker and Ronald Acuna Jr.'s, I think, little brother or cousin. Who's a middle infielder. So they do have guys coming. It's just Josh Jung will probably play third base for them next year, I would think. But yeah, most of the guys are 23 to 24 guys, not start next year. But yeah, they do have a top farm system though. My last prediction actually is going to be that the AL West will continue to stay busy. They're going to continue to be active. The AL West has probably been the most active division. The Angels go getting Tyler Anderson. Astros getting Jose Abreu. Potential Sean Murphy trade could be on the books. The Mariners traded for Colton Wong, shipping out Jesse Winker. This is a division that's going to be very active. The Rangers obviously got DeGrom. All 5 teams in this division are going to be making moves, from the A's shipping off potentially Sean Murphy, maybe even Ramon Laureano. The Rangers continuing to throw money at people. I still think they need another starting pitcher. In this division, starting pitcher central. This division, the Astros rumors right now. I think they're looking at Andrew Benintendi is one of the guys they're looking at. The Mariners are going to still make moves, I think. And the Angels, I still think they made a few moves. Hunter Renfroe, Gio Urshela, Tyler Anderson. I still think they have a couple of moves left in them as well. So I think the AL West will continue to stay active. All right. Any final thoughts, Luke, on the winter meetings in general?
Just that I hope the winter meetings just more action starts happening in the winter meetings. Nobody really wants to wait till February for big names to fall. We need some spice early on in this baseball off season to keep us interested. Football does it so well. So let's try and let's get some deals done, and let's see what teams we're going to have to root for next season.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a real winter meeting since 2019. So it'll be interesting to see how things pan out this winter meetings. Will it be slow because of that, or will things happen a lot because there hasn't really been a winter meeting since 2019? It'll be interesting to see. But we're just gonna hope and pray that stuff actually happens and we get closer to figuring out where everyone's gonna go and what trades are gonna happen and all that good stuff, or bad stuff depending on what trades or signings their team makes. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Make sure to check out all the links in the description. The Bleacher Brawls podcast, website, Instagram, and Twitter, plus all the crew's Twitters are all down there in the description. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever we post. I'm going to be doing 2 videos a week during the off season, plus whatever big signings, free agents, all that, trades, any of that stuff. Plus a lot of Red Sox, Yankees trades and signings when those happen as well. So stay tuned for that. For Luke, my name is Derek. Thanks for tuning in to Bleacher Brawls, and we'll see you next time.